Hi greedy 3Ders, Anycubic have really kindly sent me some PLA to play with. They've sent me this bone colour, matte colour PLA. So today I'm going to make something a little bit bony, and I want to thank Jerry over at 3DHP for giving me this idea of what to print today. We're going to be printing this Predator helmet from Galactic Armory, and it's going to take a fair bit of PLA. I'm going to print it at 100%, and I am going to be printing it today on the 3 Anycubic machines that you see behind me. Here's the new Anycubic Kobra X. Here's the Kobra3 V2, Kobra3 V2, I always get confused on that one. And of course, there is the good old S1. So we're going to be printing everything today across these. I'll be loading up some filament, I'll be sending some files across, and we'll be printing us that Predator mask, and we might even paint it at the end. Stay tuned. Now, one of the good things about the Anycubic machines is they've got RFID tags on them. Here on the X, you literally just touch the tag with the reel and you don't have to do anything else. It knows exactly what kind of material you're using. In this case, their very own white matte or bone coloured PLA. The machine knows this. It's really clever. The other thing, there's no auto feed. You have to feed it in, unlike the Ace Pro that I'm using on the Kobra3 V2, which again has got RFID and automatically will pick it up. Now I'm showing here 2 Ace Pros, but the one you see on the left, the one on the S1, that jammed up and I had to take it off. What a pain that was, and I'm just feeding in the filaments as a single roll. Everything has been sliced on the actual Anycubic neck slicer. It's a really easy slicer. It links in really well with the Anycubic printers, and using their Anycubic filament, the settings are all in there. I didn't need to do anything to it. I just use standard settings. The only thing I've done, because again this is a kind of Orca spin-off if you will, is I've just changed it to tree supports for the supports, and I'm going to print it with that. The slicer itself was easy. The files came off. I'm printing them 100%. I just put them in. I didn't have to change and move them around or anything, just pop them in as they came off. The only criticism I would say with the files is that Galactic Armory names them really, really weirdly. I just didn't know which ones I needed and which ones I didn't. But I kind of tried to work it out as best I could. But, you know, between you and me, I did print 3 I didn't really need for the wall-mounted one. But they all printed really, really easy and wonderfully using the Anycubic kind of environment that I was using, the filament, the printers, and the slicer. Everything went really, really well. First one was done, and this is the one I didn't really need. Silly plonker, greedy. But hey ho, it printed really well, so let's take a positive from it, and there it is. Look at the quality of that. It's lovely. Again, down to the settings, down to the PLA, down to the printer. And the other thing, do you remember the old days of taking off supports when you used to take off your knuckles with them? Well, these days, these tree supports literally just pop off, and yes, they're coming off really, really easy, which is a positive on a piece that I will not actually be using. If I was printing the whole skull and using the back of the head, yep, I would need this, but I'm not. But it does look lovely, doesn't it? Yeah, it does, yeah. We just don't tell anyone that I didn't really need it. The other thing I like about the Ace Pro is if one of the filaments runs out, if you've got the same colour and the same kind of filament, it automatically carries on. So no printing in fresh air with the Anycubic printers. Absolutely excellent. I did only have one failure, and it wasn't on this S1, it was on the X. There was a failure on the X, and I think that was down to a failed support, but I just resliced it, cleaned the build plate with a bit of alcohol, put it back on, and it worked beautifully. Now the S1, using that single reel that I used, I didn't use the Ace Pro, printed it. Look, it's perfect. They've all come off, and about 10 days later, this is what I've got. I've got a whole bench full of bits and pieces, everything printed really well, as you can see. Now, putting it together, I'm just going to use a little bit of super glue and some activator. I'm also not going to be able to get into my banking app because it uses my fingerprint for about a week, because yes, I did get covered in it. But the way that I did this, and the only way I could do this with 2 hands, was I put a little bit of glue on one section and I used some activator to hold it, and then when I knew that it was in the right position, because that's really important, and you know, you don't want it any more wonky than it's going to be, even though just there was a couple that were a bit wonky. Once I just put it into one position, I then use some glue with the obligatory mouth open shot there. I'm surprised I've got my tongue hanging out. And I just use a little bit more of the activator to glue that in place. Don't I look special on that? Dear me. So that was what I did, and I just put some music on in the background, and I sat there for a couple of hours-ish, just gluing everything together, making sure that I put enough glue on to hold it all together, making sure that I haven't glued it to my desk. And also it's a little bit of a jigsaw puzzle, trying to make sure A, I know which bit goes where, and B, have I printed all the right bits off, again because of that Galactic Armory kind of numbering system that they've got. It is really weird, but either way, we've done it, everything fits. And again, do you know what, the tolerances I found, everything went together so well. So the printer, the print filament, and also the slicer settings have all done the job perfectly, because it all went together really well. I got no glaring big obvious gaps. There was a couple of pieces that went together, maybe I could have put them together a little bit better, but again, it's really difficult to do this on your own, hold things in place and glue them. But I did the best I could, and I think we've got away with it to a point. But there we go. Anyway, it's all gone together, the main head section. Of course, we've got the mandible section, which are in a different folder on the Galactic Armory file. But I printed all those out along with the little teeth as well. They've all been printed in exactly the same filament. And I've just used that super glue and activator again. This was a fairly easy bit really. Everything sort of was pretty obvious where it was supposed to go, and the glue has held it in place really well. Now I've printed this whole thing at 100%, so it's big. And I printed it as the wall mounted model because I want it to be like a centerpiece on the backdrop for my YouTube kind of studio, if you will, where I'm doing some of the filming for things. So you'll see it behind me. Everything went together lovely. All the parts were perfectly fitted. It was just a wonderful tolerance to the thing. And again, it's done. That was it. To paint it and make it look a bit bony, I'm going to take some of this strong tone, and what I want to do is try and make the painting of the bone really easy. So all I'm going to do is take a brush and paint on this strong tone, the Army Painter wash, and use a little bit of kitchen roll, and I've also used a little towel, and I've just painted it on, and I've wiped it off till the whole thing is covered. I don't want to make this hard. I don't want to make this complicated. It doesn't have to be to paint bone. You just want to make it look a little bit old, a little bit messy, and a little bit like it's been lying around for a while. And a wash on top of this colour will do the job wonderfully, absolutely wonderfully. The other thing I did, I took a little bit of Agrax Earthshade, and I just popped that into an airbrush, and I sprayed the inner segments of the skull and some of the other little bits just to give it a different colour, just to darken it up a little bit. Now some of the gaps, I forgot to say this, some of the gaps I used a little bit of resin just to fill them, and I cured them with a UV torch. So I've filled in a lot of the gaps. You can still see a couple of the joins at this stage, but when it's up on the wall, when it's sat there in its full colour glory, you really can't see any of those joins. It looks really nice up on the wall. And that's all I did. 2 colours on top of that white, and it's done. It's really done. And it took half an hour to paint it. It really did. And that's pretty much what it looked like. I just went over it one last time with that Agrax Earthshade just to darken up the inner depths of the skull, and it's done. It is done. I want to thank Anycubic for sending me the PLA. I want to thank them also for the printers. They've been running around the clock for about 10 days, all 3 of them, to get these things off. Everything was good apart from the one failure, which was a support failure, which worked afterwards. And here is the Predator skull from Galactic Armory. I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. I can't wait to put it up on the wall, and I'll show you what it looks like up on the wall. But let me know what you think in the comments. Have you made one of these? Are you going to make one of these? Let me know what you think about the bone colour. If you like what you see today on the channel, please think about giving me a subscribe. Please think about joining the Greedy 3D Patreon. And thank you to my patrons. You guys are, as ever, wonderful for your support. Absolutely thank you. Here he is. Here's the centerpiece of my YouTube studio. I hope you like it. I hope you found this video interesting. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time real soon on Greedy 3D. Thank you for watching. Here is the Predator skull.